My friend, when God decides to bless you, He does not need to consult your bank account, your background, or your connections. He does not need permission from the economy or the approval of men. When God's hand moves, no force on earth or in the unseen world can stop it. I want to tell you today, unexpected financial favor is about to hit your life suddenly. You may not see it coming. You may not understand how it will happen. But when God releases His favor, it comes swiftly, powerfully, and undeniably. Many people have struggled for years, working hard, doing everything right, yet feeling like the doors of increase are sealed shut. You've prayed. You've waited. And at times you've wondered if God even heard you. But hear me clearly. Your waiting has not been wasted. Every prayer you whispered, every tear you cried, every moment you stayed faithful when it didn't make sense, it was all being recorded in the unseen realm. God has seen it. And now the season is shifting. Heaven's attention is turning towards your name. What was once delayed is about to be delivered. There are moments in life when God moves slowly, teaching us patience, shaping our hearts, preparing our faith. But there are also moments when He moves suddenly. And when He moves suddenly, everything changes at once. The same God who turned darkness into light in a single command can turn your financial draw into abundance in one moment of divine favor. You don't need 1,000 opportunities. You need one God-appointed moment. And that moment is closer than you think. You see, financial favor is not just about money. It's about the supernatural hand of God arranging circumstances in your favor. It's when doors open without you knocking. When people remember your name without you reminding them. When help shows up from places you never expected. It's when the rules bend in your direction and what was once out of reach suddenly becomes attainable. That is what happens when God releases favor. It is not luck. It is not coincidence. It is divine intervention. I want you to understand something deep today. God delights in blessing His people. He is not stingy with favor. He is the source of all provision. The same God who feeds the birds and clothes the lice has a plan for your life that includes abundance, not lack. You were never meant to live defeated, scraping by, crushed under financial pressure. That is not your portion. God's plan is to raise you up, to establish you, to make you a living testimony of His goodness. But here's the truth. Before God releases abundance, He often tests the heart, because favor without faith becomes fragile. God cannot trust increase to a heart that forgets the giver. That's why some of you have faced seasons of dryness. It was not punishment. It was preparation. He was teaching you to depend on Him when nothing made sense. He was purging fear, teaching you to give even when it hurt, to believe even when there was no sign of breakthrough. And when the heart is ready, God releases the blessing. There are people listening to me right now who are about to see a divine turnaround that defies every calculation. You've been faithful in little, and God is about to make you ruler over much. He has seen your endurance. He has watched you stay honest when others cut corners. You refuse to compromise your integrity even when it cost you. And now the same God who tests is about to reward. Unexpected financial favor will not trickle, it will pour. There will come a moment when the favor of God locates you so clearly that even your enemies will have to admit it. They won't understand how it happened. They'll look for explanations, but they won't find any. Because what's coming is not man-made, it's God-sent. When God breathes on your finances, it multiplies beyond logic. He can make a small opportunity produce massive results. He can cause one connection, one idea, one open door to accomplish what 10 years of effort could not. Let me remind you, the earth belongs to God and the fullness thereof. He controls the wealth of nations, and He can redirect it anytime He chooses. You don't need to chase money. You need to chase obedience, because favor flows through alignment. When your life aligns with the will of God, blessings begin to pursue you. Opportunities find you. Doors you never knew existed begin to swing open. Some of you have been worried about debt bills and rising costs. You've lost sleep wondering how it will all work out. But God is saying, I am the source. Stop magnifying the mountain and start magnifying the one who can move it. God can send financial favor through the most unlikely vessels. He can use stranger systems or even your enemies to bless you. When He commands provision, everything in creation obeys. Remember this. The same God who sent manna from heaven can send provision to your doorstep. The same God who filled the widow's jaw until it overflowed can multiply what you have left. Don't despise small beginnings. Don't say it's too little. God specializes in using what looks insignificant to produce the miraculous. He can breathe on one idea, one seed, one step of faith, and turn it into overflow. You might be standing in a season of lack right now, but that is not your final destination. You are standing on the edge of a financial shift. The pressure you feel is the signal of a coming release. God often allows things to tighten just before He expands them. When the night feels darkest, that's when the dawn is near. When it seems like every door is closing, that's when God is about to open one you never knew existed. Don't let fear talk you out of your breakthrough. Don't let doubt poison your faith. God is not limited by your situation. He is not moved by economic forecasts or inflation. He owns everything. And when He says it's your time, no force can delay it. Unexpected favor means it will come when logic says it can't. It will show up whenever human possibility has expired. That's when God does His finest work in the realm of the impossible. I've seen people go from bankruptcy to abundance, from losing everything to owning more than they dreamed. Not because they were lucky, but because they trusted God when it didn't make sense. They kept sowing. They kept sowing. They kept praying. They kept believing. They honored God with what they had. And He honored them with what they needed. That same God is still at work today. He hasn't changed. And I want to speak this clearly to your heart. The waiting season is about to turn into a winning season. The struggle you've endured was not a waste. It was building endurance in you. God was stretching your faith to carry the blessing that's coming. Because what's coming is big. It's bigger than you imagine. You're not just going to receive enough for yourself. You're going to have enough to bless others. You will become a distributor of blessings, not just a receiver. There's something powerful about divine timing. You can't force it and you can't stop it. When it's time, some of you are standing right at the edge of divine timing. You've been wondering why certain doors were delayed, why some opportunities slipped away. But God was protecting you from premature blessings. A blessing given too soon can become a burden. He was making sure your foundation could handle what He's about to pour. When God releases unexpected financial favor, it will not only meet your needs, it will exceed them. You'll look back and say, I didn't see that coming, but it came right on time. That's how God works. He is never late. He's strategic. He aligns people, resources, and timing to make everything fall perfectly into place. And hear me, favor is not earned by effort. It's unlocked by faith. You cannot work your way into divine favor, but you can believe your way into it. Faith attracts what effort cannot achieve. That's why the enemy attacks your faith more than your finances. If he can make you doubt, he can delay your breakthrough. But if you hold on to faith, you'll draw in the favor that's meant for you. You must stop speaking what you believe. Stop speaking lack. Stop agreeing with fear. Speak abundance. Speak provision. Declare that God is your source. Words have power. What you say determines what you see. If you speak defeat, you'll live defeated. If you speak increase, you'll attract increase. Begin to align your confession with God's promises. Say to yourself daily, unexpected financial favor is locating me now. Don't wait for proof. Speak it until it manifests. I know what it's like to walk through seasons when nothing seems to move, when prayers feel unanswered. But I've also seen what happens when God suddenly turns it around. He can compress years of struggle into a moment of restoration. He can make up for lost time, lost income, lost opportunities. God doesn't just restore. He multiplies. He pays back with interest. Right now, some of you are about to receive phone calls, opportunities, and ideas that will shift everything. What you thought was over, God is about to revive. What looked impossible will become inevitable. Don't let discouragement blind you to what's already in motion. God is setting things up behind the scenes. The favor you've been praying for is already scheduled. You may not have the resources, but God does. You may not have the connections, but God does. You may not know how it will happen, but He already has it planned. That's why you must stay faithful. Keep doing the right thing. Keep trusting. Keep sowing, because your consistency is about to collide with God suddenly. And when that happens, everything will change overnight. One call, one open door, one transfer, one idea. That's all it takes for your story to shift. That's how God works. He can take what looks ordinary and breathe extraordinary favor upon it. I want to challenge you to release the fear of not having enough. Fear blocks favor. You cannot expect abundance while clinging to scarcity. Let go of the mindset that says it's too hard, it's too late, it's impossible. Replace it with faith that says God can make a way even here because He can. He can take a desert and make it bloom. He can cause streams to flow in dry places, and He can cause your finances to overflow in ways you never imagined. Some of you are about to see contracts approved that you thought were denied. Some of you are about to receive promotions that were long overdue. Others will find that debts are canceled, unexpected refunds arrive, and long-lost opportunities return with greater value. That's what happens when God's done. The natural gives way to the supernatural. Let this truth sink in. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. God has been watching the details. He knows every bill, every need, every dream that's waiting to be fulfilled. And He has already appointed a moment of manifestation. It will not tarry. It will come right on time. When God's favor hits, it comes with speed. It doesn't crawl, it rushes. Things that were slow begin to accelerate. People who ignored you suddenly notice you. Opportunities start chasing you instead of you chasing them. That's divine acceleration. It's when God compresses time and multiplies results. Get ready for acceleration. Get ready for overflow. Because when this financial favor comes, it won't just meet your needs. It will elevate your life. You will look back and realize that the waiting was worth it. Every delay was divine. Every setback was a setup. You may say, but I've made mistakes. I've lost money. I've failed before. Don't let guilt rob you of grace. God's favor is not based on perfection. It's based on mercy. If you've learned, repented, and returned your heart toward Him, He can restore what was lost. And even better, you are not disqualified from abundance. God specializes in giving beauty for ashes. Right now, there's a divine exchange taking place. The sorrow of lack is being replaced by the joy of provision. The pain of delay is turning into the peace of fulfillment. The tears you shed in secret are about to water your harvest. You will not just recover, you will rise. Keep your eyes on God, not on numbers. Numbers change, God doesn't. Markets rise and fall. His word stands firm. The same God who provided for His people through famine and drought is the same God who will provide for you now. The time for survival is ending. The time for abundance is beginning. You will go from borrowing to lending, from waiting to receiving, from praying for help to being the one who helps others. God is raising you to be a channel of blessing. He is not blessing you just to bless you. He's blessing you to bless nations. So open your heart and believe again. Speak with boldness. Expect the impossible. God is not done with you. He is about to surprise you in ways you never imagined. Doors will open. Resources will find you. Solutions will appear. Divine ideas will awaken inside you. And when it happens, give glory to God alone. Remember who made it possible. Stay humble. Stay generous. Because the moment you give back, the flow increases. Favor thrives in thankful hearts. Gratitude multiplies grace. Unexpected financial favor is not a fantasy. It's a reality for those who dare to believe. And when it comes suddenly. So be ready. Be expectant. Because even now, God is moving things in your favor. You are standing on the edge of a breakthrough so great, it will silence every doubt, every fear, every limitation that ever tried to hold you back. My friend, when the favor of God begins to move in your direction, everything around you begins to respond. Heaven shifts, circumstances bend, and even the hardest situations begin to soften. You may have been walking through seasons where nothing seemed to work, where every effort met resistance, where every door seemed locked tight. But I want you to hear this with all your heart. God has not forgotten you. The silence was not absence. It was preparation. The waiting was not denial. It was divine timing. And now the time has come for that which was hidden to be revealed, for that which was delayed to be delivered. Unexpected financial favor is about to overtake your life like a rushing wind. When God decides to lift you, no one can keep you down. People may have overlooked you, but they cannot overlook the hand of God when it begins to move. Systems may have counted you out, but they cannot compete with divine favor. God can take you from the back of the line to the front in one single act of His will. He can make those who ignored you yesterday become the ones who open doors for you today. That's what divine favor does. It reverses order. It changes rank. It disrupts the predictable. It is the great equalizer that turns ordinary people into living miracles. You see, financial favor is not just about numbers in a bank account. It is about divine positioning. It is when God places you at the right place at the right time with the right people for the right purpose. It is when every detail aligns in your favor, not because you manipulated it, but because God orchestrated it. You may have been sowing seeds in tears, but soon you will reap in joy. You may have been working in silence, but soon you will celebrate in abundance. Because when God's timing arrives, struggle ends and harvest begins. Many people think increase comes only through effort, but that's not entirely true. Yes, effort matters. Yes, diligence has value, but effort without God's favor is limited. With His favor, however, the limited becomes limitless. You can work a lifetime and never see certain doors open. But one moment of divine favor can open what human labor could not. One idea from God can outperform years of toil. One divine connection can release more than 1,000 strategies. You don't need everything to change. You just need one touch from God and the entire equation of your life shifts in your favor. Sometimes God allows you to reach the end of yourself so that you can see the beginning of His power. When your resources dry up, His rivers begin to flow. When your plans fail, His wisdom begins to unfold. And when everything looks impossible, His possibilities begin to rise. It's in those moments when you have nothing left to depend on that you discover who the true provider really is. God is not looking for strength in you. He is looking for surrender. Because once you stop relying on what you can do, He begins to show what only He can do. Don't be surprised if your blessing comes from a direction you never expected. God loves to work through the unexpected. He used ravens to feed a prophet. He brought water from a rock. He multiplied a small amount to feed thousands. Why? Because He wants to remind you that He alone is the source. He doesn't need the system to favor you. He can create a new system around you. He can cause what others call nothing to become everything. That's the power of divine favor. It makes the impossible look effortless. And let me tell you something. When God begins to move, He does not trickle blessings. He floods them. The same way a dry land drinks in the rain after a long drought, your life will drink in favor after seasons of life. The barren places and your life will bloom again. The empty spaces will overflow again. The doors that were sealed will burst open again. You won't have to force it. It will flow. Because divine favor flows, it doesn't fight. Some of you have been living under the shadow of fear. Fear of running out. Fear of not having enough. Fear of losing what little remains. But fear is the enemy of faith. Clouds your vision and blocks the flow of blessing. The more you fear lack, the more you attract it. But when you shift your focus and declare, God is my provider, you change the spiritual atmosphere around you. Your words begin to draw in what your faith expects. Fear is the language of defeat, but faith is the language of victory. So start speaking victory. Start declaring abundance. Start expecting overflow, because what you speak in faith becomes the seed of your reality. Understand this. God never sends favor into a life that is unprepared to handle it. That's why you must keep your heart pure and your motives right. Some people chase wealth, but those who know God chase purpose. When your motive is to honor God, He can trust you with more. He can release blessings because He knows you won't let the blessings replace Him. You become a channel, not a container. A container keeps everything for itself, but a channel lets it flow through. And when God finds a channel, He keeps the flow coming. There's a reason your process has taken time. God was not delaying your blessing. He was strengthening your foundation. He was stretching your faith, building your discipline, and shaping your perspective. Because increase without wisdom leads to waste, but increase with wisdom leads to legacy. He's not just preparing you for more, He's preparing you to sustain it. The next season of your life will not be a temporary blessing. It will be a lasting transformation. Mark my words, God is about to surprise you. There will be a divine reversal so swift it will leave you in awe. Things that seem frozen will suddenly move. Opportunities that were buried will rise again. People who forgot you will suddenly remember your name. Systems that resisted you will start working in your favor. Because when divine favor arrives, everything and everyone must adjust to make room for what God has ordained. Hear this. Favor doesn't make sense. It breaks patterns. It bypasses logic. It offends those who try to explain it. But you don't need it to make sense. You just need to recognize it. When it comes, walk in it with humility. Give glory to God, not to luck, not to coincidence, not to your own intelligence, but to the one who makes all things possible. Because favor that is acknowledged multiplies, but favor that is taken for granted fades. God is about to release creative ideas, new strategies, and uncommon opportunities into your hands. Don't underestimate small ideas that come in moments of stillness. They could be divine seeds of abundance. One thought, one plan, one inspiration from God can change generations. Write it down. Pray over it. Move when He nudges you. Because divine favor often manifests through divine instruction. You might not see all the details yet, but that's okay. God reveals enough for you to trust Him, not enough for you to control Him. Walk by faith, not by calculation. You don't need to know how. You just need to know who. The same God who created the heavens has already arranged your provision. You don't have to chase it. It's chasing you. Blessings have been assigned to your name, and at the appointed time, they will find you. So get ready, not mentally, but spiritual. Expectation is the womb of manifestation. When your heart begins to expect, your life begins to receive. Don't live as though you're waiting for something uncertain. Live as though you know it's coming, because it is. God's word never returns empty. If He said He will bless you, then no power in this world can block it. Let gratitude be your weapon in this season. Thank God before it happens and watch it happen. Thank Him for the doors that are opening, for the favor that is on the way, for the provision that is already set apart for you. Gratitude keeps your spirit light and your faith strong. A thankful heart attracts the presence of God. And where His presence is, favor flows without resistance. God is raising you to become a testimony. People who knew your struggle will witness your rise. Those who pied you will one day seek your wisdom. You will become living proof that trusting God never fails. That's why you can't give up now. You're too close to the turnaround. The pressure you feel is not punishment. It's proof that something is about to break open. When that financial favor hits, it won't just bless your wallet. It will heal your mind. It will remove the burden of worry, the weight of fear, the sleepless nights of uncertainty. It will restore peace. It will renew your confidence. Because true abundance is not about possession. It's about freedom. Freedom to live without anxiety. Freedom to give without hesitation. Freedom to focus on purpose instead of survival. That's what divine favor brings. Freedom. And remember, abundance is not about what you hold. It's about what holds you. Don't let the blessing possess your heart. Keep your eyes on God, because the same God who gives can multiply. And as long as your focus stays on Him, the flow never ends. So prepare yourself. Set your heart in alignment with faith. Expect the unexpected. God is already moving pieces in your favor. The season of lack is closed. The season of divine release is beginning. You will not chase money. Money will chase the purpose God placed in you. You will not beg for opportunity, will seek you out. You will not struggle for recognition. God Himself will announce you. You are about to walk into rooms you never thought you'd enter. You will receive calls you never expected. You will sign papers that change your destiny. You will see debts disappear, ideas prosper, and doors open wide. Because when divine favor comes, it doesn't whisper, it roars. It declares that God has remembered you. And when He remembers, everything changes. So lift your head, strengthen your faith, speak life, stand tall. The storm that tried to break you was only clearing the path for your blessing. The same wind that fought you will now carry you. God is not just restoring, He is multiplying. The drought is ending, the rain is coming. And with it, a downpour of divine financial favor that will rewrite your story forever. My friend, when all is said and done, everything you are, everything you hope to become rests in the hands of God. There is no security greater, no foundation stronger, and no promise surer. You may have walked through seasons of struggle and stood on the edge of despair, but I want you to lift your eyes tonight. Lift them beyond what you see, beyond what you feel, and fix them on the one who never fails. God is not distant. He is closer than your breath, watching, guiding, and preparing something extraordinary for your life. What he is about to release will not come through the power of men, but through his divine mercy and favor. This is the moment to renew your heart, to lay aside fear, pride, and doubt, and return to that simple, powerful trust that says, God, I am yours. Because when your heart belongs fully to him, everything else falls into place. Surrender, place, surrender. The key to increase is faith, and the road to lasting peace is trust. Don't chase the world's definition of success. Chase God's presence, seek his approval above all else, and watch how he clothed your life with grace, strength, and abundance. If you have been walking with your head bowed under the weight of worry, let this be the night you release it. Let go of the need to understand everything. You are not meant to carry the whole plan. You are meant to carry faith. God already knows the route, the timing, the people, and the miracles that are aligned with your name. You do not have to control what only he can command. Stand still and trust, and you will see his deliverance. There are moments when God asks us to stretch our belief beyond reason, to give when it hurts, to hope when nothing changes, to stand when everything inside us wants to quit. But those are the moments that shape destiny. That is where faith becomes real. That is where favor finds you. You cannot reach divine overflow with half-hearted faith. You must believe with your whole being that God is not just able. He is willing. He desires to bless you, to lift you, to reveal his power through your story. So tonight, let your heart return to the place of stillness. Speak to God with honesty. Tell him your fears, your dreams, your needs. Then let his peace wash over you. The same God who painted the sky has already written the chapters of your provision. You may not see it yet, but the ink is dry. The outcome is settled. God's plan for you is good, and no force can erase it. Take a deep breath and remember who you belong to. You are not a victim of chance or fate. You are guided by the Almighty, whose wisdom cannot fail. He knows what you need before you ask. He has stored blessings in places you haven't yet walked. And when the time comes, they will find you. Until then, be faithful, be kind, be generous, keep your heart open and your spirit humble. Let your life become a living testimony of trust. Let people see in you what it looks like to depend on God completely. Walk with confidence, but not arrogance. Speak with power, but with gentleness. Give without expecting return. And love without limit, because the greatest wealth is not what sits in your hands, it's what rests in your soul. And a soul anchored in God cannot be shaken. So as you step forward, carry this truth. God is not finished with you. Even now, he is preparing blessings that will exceed every dream, restore every loss, and silence every doubt. But his greatest gift is not what he gives, it's who he is. Seek him with all your heart, and you will find that everything else follows naturally. Let faith rise again inside you. Let gratitude become your daily language. Let peace replace fear and courage replace hesitation. Stand tall as one who knows that the creator of all things walks beside you, because he does. And when God walks with you, every closed door will open, every storm will come, and every promise will stand fulfilled. Now go with faith, go with the quiet strength of one who knows that the favor of God is not coming, it's already here. Carry it in your heart. Live it through your actions and let it shine through your spirit. For when your life reflects the greatness of God, you become the living proof that no circumstance is too hard, no dream too distant, and no heart too broken for his touch to restore. And may every step you take from this moment forward remind you that you are never alone, never forgotten, and never without help. Because the same God who formed the stars has already chosen to bless you suddenly, abundantly, and completely. Walk in that truth. Live in that promise.